Something you may want to do before or soon after launching your community is to seed it with some useful content. Get your most frequently asked questions in there as topics so that answers will already be available when your customers come looking for them. Here you can see a screen from the Songbird community, and what they did is they used the format of setting up an employee as just an FAQ role, and then one of their employees would answer in just his own natural language, and then you can see down at the bottom it's tagged FAQ. As you can see, one of the benefits of tagging them with FAQ is that you can then point customers to a page of just FAQ topics. And if you're on a plan with premium widgets, by the way, you can even create tag-specific widgets based on the tag FAQ. And then you also want to make sure that you educate your customers. This is another helpful practice, wanting to provide how-to help to your customers so that they understand how to use your community. Media Bistro made a couple of tutorial videos for their customers, illustrating for them what Get Satisfaction is about and how to post new topics, and generally just how to participate in the community. And as you can see, they've embedded these videos in a company update topic. And then they even provided a link to that video tutorial topic in their message to their community space on their community homepage. Here on the Mozilla messaging community homepage, they have a Read Me First link at the top of their support links area. And that takes people out of the community and to their site where they have instructions on using and getting the most out of their Get Satisfaction community. And then giving customers, especially new customers, the quick satisfaction of a rapid response to their question is a great way to quickly engage them and help ensure that they turn to the community again as a means of support. Here's an example of some praise that we actually received here at Get Satisfaction due to the efficient help a user got from another company in their community. So not only does it keep people coming back, but it keeps them loving you and praising you. The next suggestion might seem like the most obvious, but I found that not everyone intuitively gets how important it is to be human and use a friendly tone in your community. You want to start building relationships with the customers who visit your community, but you're not going to do that with an unfriendly tone and a bunch of customer service jargon. We just want to make sure that we are not performing our customer service in our communities in the way that jargon might do it, with canned responses and a stiff tone. You want to be open and friendly and human and real with your customers, and that really gives them a delightful and surprising customer service experience and keeps them coming back and engaged in your community. So here are a couple of examples of the tone that a company called One True Fan has set in their community. They're down-to-earth, casual, friendly, and sympathetic with their customers. And then this in turn breeds more engagement with these new community members. And they really only started to use their community a few months ago, but already have several pages of content. And I'd say they're on their way to a really active community, and probably in part due to their rapid response and their friendly and casual manner and tone with their customers. And something else that you can do to keep new customers engaged and re-engage even existing customers is to run a contest. This contest from Yola was just posted a couple days ago, and within 24 hours it had 31 replies with 13 people participating in it already and sharing best practices. Again, here in the Yola community, 3 years ago, a customer posted a topic soliciting others to share what they'd created with the Yola site builder. And now look at the stats of this topic. Over 1,000 replies made, over 400 people participating in this topic. This is just customers wanting to share what they've done with this tool with each other. So finding ways of soliciting that kind of input from your customers and getting them interacting with each other is another great way of getting those new customers engaged. And then finally, you want to be sure that you encourage your customers when you see them chiming in and helping each other. The more open, friendly, and helpful your whole community is, the more new visitors will want to stay. Here's an example actually from the Get Satisfaction community where somebody asked a question about how to do something, and one of our customer champs gave him an accurate response with a little screenshot, and a former community manager of ours came in down here and said thanks to him. So it's just those little encouragements is a great way to keep them engaged and to start to build advocates, but also when new customers come in and see that kind of interaction, it creates a space that makes them want to come back. Now I'd like to introduce Joseph Alminawi, the community manager at OMGPOP.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
So first of all, when did OMGPOP start really using Get Satisfaction?
We rolled it out in the summer of 2009. It really picked up momentum very quickly.
About how many unique visitors do you think you get to your community each week?
Well, I've heard of stats. I mean, it shows around 60,000 visitors in the past week. far as unique, I'm not entirely sure, but it's a lot of people. We direct a lot of people there for like discussion, voting on ideas. We don't have a conventional forum for our site. When we want to create ongoing discussions, where we point users, so it's a pretty high number.
Do you have any sense of what the growth rate has been?
Specifically, the numbers not quite, but in a very gradual growth. Very viral and sticky the Get Satisfaction community is. We'll send people over there and they'll post their idea, and then they'll come back to our site, into our chat rooms or into their games, and they'll post links to their ideas, asking people to vote it up and get support behind things. So it's pretty cool.
So what have you guys done to engage new users?
Echoing some of the stuff that you've mentioned, for example, setting the tone, just super important. We like to make sure everyone who posts theirs is welcomed in a very informal, friendly, understanding tone. Like you mentioned, quickly replying, it's not scalable to have only just a few people within your company generally. So using champions is just critically important. We actively look for champions in the community, or we treat them like a sub-team of our site. It just pays off on so many levels, especially utilizing some of the other tools. There's a way to create special codes. I inform my champions, hey, if there's something that really needs my attention, code it with needs love, and it's the first thing I look at in the morning when I get it.
What are some other things you guys have done to engage new users?
Just acknowledging people's posts, especially when people put down a very detailed post, or they feel very passionate about something, even if it's something you don't quite agree with. It's important to you guys have heard of the feedback sandwich technique, where it's a positive thing, thanks for putting the time, then you give them the real fact, we've actually addressed this, or we decided not to do this, and then we hope you keep on providing feedback. So it's good, the real stuff, then good again, and give them that good feeling and get what you need out of it. And the same goes for praise or any type of feedback. When someone puts down praise and you acknowledge that you're thanking them for that praise, it just, other people see that, and then they tend to interact as well, and just keeps them coming back. In addition to the OMGPOP Get Satisfaction, a couple months ago we rolled out a Get Satisfaction page for our other product, a Facebook game called Cupcake Corner, and one of my colleagues used the post for an actual contest. And I thought it was a pretty high barrier contest where our Facebook users would have to take a screenshot, figure out how to save it, and then post on Get Satisfaction. And it did pretty well. We used it as just a spot for people to post screenshots of their Cupcake Corner. We went back and held the contest, picked some winners, and even after we picked winners, it continued on to be active. People congratulated others, and it was just a really nice tool. It's definitely something we'll proceed with in the future. Just a few other things. There's one very neat tool that you guys provide, at least under certain plans, where you can see the user ID of the user posting. And for topics that kind of stick out at us as being unique or sensitive, we'll take the time and take their user ID, go back into their accounts, and just look at what kind of games they play on our site. What's their behavior been? What kind of person is this? And we'll use that information to go before replying to them, just to kind of tailor our responses, so we understand which buttons to press and what tone to hit. And the final thing is that we have a team of maybe 27 people here at OMGPOP, and every single person in this company gets it's the best thing in the world when you see an actual developer that's worked on a game reply to a user who had a question about it, and they beat me to it, and the users really appreciate that. Some people are definitely more warm towards it than others, but trying to get the rest of your team involved makes a world of difference as well.